Thanks for staying with us. Now, despite making up more than half of the population in many countries, young people, that's ages 18 to 30, often find themselves marginalized from mainstream politics and decision making. They struggle to gain the respect of public officials and are seen as lacking the skills and experience to engage in political activities and lead positive change in their communities. This exclusion, combined with limited educational and economic opportunities, can leave young people both idle and frustrated with the status quo. Now, today's youth need real opportunities to participate in political processes and contribute to practical solutions that advance development. When given an opportunity to organize, voice their opinions, and play a meaningful role in political decision-making, young people consistently demonstrate their willingness and ability to foster positive, lasting change. They also become more likely to demand and defend democracy and gain a greater sense of belonging. So how can we get more young people involved in politics, especially here in Nigeria? Now, please let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. So I'm going to bring in our guest in a minute or two. I just wanted to ask, Elsie, you have your PVC, right?
Not yet.
Not yet. How about you, Isi?
Not yet.
Kunle Lawal. I also not yet. Because I'm supposed to
process.
I'm supposed to apply and
but I do have my card for voting.
I have the temporary.
The temporary card.
Yeah.
I do.
But you can't vote with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we need to follow up.
No, my problem is actually mine is not the temporary card. It's the original card or the permanent card, but because of the location, I need to change it. So that's
what we used to do when I voted in, because I didn't vote 2019, because by then my card was already missing.
Well, you voted 2015.
Yes, I was part of them.
I
voted for.
I won't say what
I was part of them.
Why won't you say? Is it a crime?
It is a crime.
So what we used to do was we would go and sleep over with our friends in Magodo, at least to be able to vote, but transferring and all of that, but
so
that's by the wayside.
I need to change that temporary to the voters card itself and then transfer it to where I stay now. So I don't know.
So I wanted to ask you, why do you think we have very low participation when it comes to youth in politics?
Lack of awareness. Yes, to a huge extent, because a lot of people feel that what they see is what the government actually gives everybody to see. Where we have individuals interested in politics, but when they now go in to understand the dynamics around politics, it's a bit shady. So awareness is very important here.
So young people don't like shadiness? Young people don't really
know. You need to understand that we need transparency. And if you do not understand something, it's just like cryptocurrency for me. If you do not understand, if you do not understand the dynamics of it, you won't go into it. It's as simple as that. So if awareness is not
so you think it's because they do not understand it, that's why you think young people are not going. How about you? Do you agree with that school of thought?
And the game of politics, the way it's being played in Nigeria, is like a dog-eat-dog world. Nobody
I get that part.
Yes.
How about you, Elsie? What do you think?
I think she has a point, but that cannot be the only reason. Something came to mind while you were just about to start the session, and it was those who study political science in school. What exactly is that course for? Like, what is supposed to be their future projection, career path? So I'm hoping that our guests can be able to throw more light, because it just came to mind. I'm wondering, people actually go to school to study this.
I have a lot of friends that study political science.
So what is supposed to
right now? Okay. Kunle Lawal is an entrepreneur, idea generator, politician, TEDx speaker, and patriot. He has a keen eye for opportunities based on his experience in politics, working with non-governmental organizations and the federal government. He is very passionate about Nigeria, and he is what could be termed as a detribalized Nigerian. And he's joined in live with us in studio. Thank you so much for joining us. He had a long day as well. From the airport straight to Waze. Thank you so much. We're truly honored to have you here.
Absolutely. Detribalize Nigeria.
Detribalized. I love that part of being detribalized. I believe I'm also a detribalized Nigerian. I'm not. So you don't see people through the eye of their tribe. You know, you see people, you just see them. You're not asking, where are you from? Are you Yoruba? Are you
like when they say, I don't see color, you're not
yes, I don't see tribe. Okay. I don't see tribe. You know, but walk me through this process of youth participation and the Electoral College. What exactly does this Electoral College mean? I don't understand what it means, because I hear it a lot, especially in the American politics. And secondly, why do we have, I will pose that question again to you, why do we have less young people, or fewer young people participating in politics?
So I think I'd like to start with the latter part of your question, because it's easier to answer than I walk back into the other. So why do we have fewer young people in politics? Because if it's permitted for me to say, the elite old politicians, we'll call them the Jurassic Park now, so it doesn't look like the dinosaurs of politics. Yes, I'll call them the dinosaurs of politics. They actually have infiltrated our educational system. The Constitution of Nigeria is not for lawyers, it's for every Nigerian. It's the holy book of citizenry. And if you do not understand the Constitution, you virtually cannot even demand for good governance. So when you demand for good governance, you argue from a part of a blinded perspective.
It's ignorance.
And I'll give you an example. Most people think every politician has immunity. The only people with immunities are the president, the vice president, and governors. Your local government chairman is not immune. So if instead of complaining that, oh, yeah, he didn't do this project well, sue him to court, and he will go to jail. The local government is the first handshake of democracy to the people, of course. So it's not secure in the political machinery. And that is so that the people can ask for governance directly. Now, going back to the Electoral College Nigeria and participation in politics, I think one of the worst things that has ever happened to Nigeria is over the course of our history, people that are supposed to tell us what to do in politics have told us the wrong thing. So they tell you, vote, 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 and nothing else. There's more to politics than voting. Voting is just a part.
Voting is like the end game.
It's the end game.
Yes, the real point of decision making is actually in selection.
Yeah. So you watch the American primaries. We know everybody running in the American primaries. Absolutely. Now I'm going to, just for joke, let me just try this. Does anyone know anybody in any of the primaries apart from who emerged?
No.
Okay, let me ask you more.
That's why I said awareness.
APC, PDP, SDP. No, Nigerians never know who is in the primaries. You only know who emerges.
Yes.
And I can tell you that we have 18 registered political parties right now. And I can bet that the average Nigerian cannot name 6. You want to strike?
No. Okay, there's ABGA, PDP, APC, COA party.
COA is the registered.
Okay.
Rest your case.
National Publicity Secretary.
So they've deregistered it.
Yes.
Why?
Under the Electoral Act, there was a part in political parties.
You're supposed to meet a certain quota.
Yes, you're supposed to at least win a councillor in Nigeria. And some people couldn't win at least a councillor in Nigeria. You know, the problem with, and I'll still say it's political inexperience. The average political party in Nigeria wants to run for president. So you notice they have a presidential candidate and nothing else.
Yeah, that's true. That's the party. So he was going somewhere with us not knowing the people that that run the primaries. We only know the president that emerges.
Yes. So I was looking at, we've always said vote, 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 vote. There are other parts of politics and governance. The first would be of course, participation in political parties. That is very, very necessary because it's those delegates that bring out the candidates that you know. So in 2019, you had presidential candidates like Fela Durotoye, Kingsley Moghalu, Buhari, the sitting number 9.
You know what?
Alhaji Atiku Abubakar.
You know what? Hold that thought. Let's go on a very short break. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. Now, if you just tune in, we're having an amazing chat with Kunle Lawal on youth participation in politics. So please let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. So before we went on the break, you were talking about political parties, and you're talking about, you know, not knowing who are the participants in primaries and all of that. Can you just pick up from there?
Okay, so we know Nigerians usually know who are in primaries in America. And, you know, we named the Ben Carsons, the Hillary Clintons at the time. No. I'm sorry. And we don't seem to understand what goes on in our political parties. We're not saying everybody should join a political party, but a huge number of Nigerians should be part of it to be able to dictate the kind of candidates that end up emerging with party tickets or with primaries, instead of the few ones that collect the Ghana Moscow.
Sorry to come in there. So, non-political party members, are we allowed to vote in the primaries?
No.
So how are we supposed to participate in that?
Join a political party.
So that's where you're going to, that we should join a political party?
Yeah, should join one.
So is that what the Electoral College is about?
The Electoral College understood the biggest, or the body that founded the Electoral College in Nigeria understood that the biggest problem we have is political illiteracy in Nigeria. And this is not about how educated you are. This has nothing to do with it. I'll tell you, my mother is a professor, and I hope she's not watching this. She cannot tell what a local government chairman does as his functions or his jurisdiction. So the Electoral College is part of that. And then it also attempts interventions to help. We're training local government chairmen in different states, and at least trying to put them abreast with, you know, present functions and what could be done generally. We also have trained over 7,000 Nigerians virtually on a 23-course module, spanning from foundation in politics to results collation. So we do quite a lot of work. But I'll say the work in Nigeria is massive. 7,000 is a little number, considering. You know, I've always been one of those that always say, PVC is not our problem. Putting more PVCs is good. The Electoral College was behind INEC, you know, now, and I heard you say something about your card. And you can just, you know, you can do it online now.
Yeah.
The INEC is really doing a lot of work. But if you take 2019, where you had about a little over, I think, 84 million registered voters and cards given out, and total number of voters that participated in the presidential election were about 28 million. When you get to state governors, it drops to about 20 million. When you get to local government, well, Lagos, I was privileged to see the emptiness of the Lagos state local government elections.
Yeah, because nobody was aware that there was even an election coming up.
You know what's funny? This is a state that I thought, you know, post-EndSARS will take the reins in political ideology. That did not happen. Instead, what we saw is, of course, they continued in their Dorime tradition. And
the what?
Dorime.
And the Dorime tradition, truth is, whatever they bought that bottle for, it's about enough money that can ensure a councillor gets into office. I looked at the statistics. No councillor won with more than 3,000 votes. Is it 3,000 votes? You want 3,000 votes on the street or within a ward? Put drinks now, put egg roll, put everything, tell people vote for these people. It's true now, the other guys are doing it, why don't you do it?
I mean, we saw the video that Aneta did with 100. Okay, let's see.
I was going to step in there. You talked about the fact that the Lagos or currently in Nigeria, we have people who are not really aware of what is happening, and that there is a lot of illiteracy politically in Lagos State. So how do we, you also talked about the individuals who are, you made a stance on for individuals who are enlightened, they can actually get to understand what you're talking about. But what about those in the grassroots? How do you get them to know what they're supposed to know about the political system? If you look at
the figures, the truth is that politicians have always played a trick on the electorate, and I didn't even realize this till I I ran for Senate in 2019 in FCT Abuja. And when you get to see the real picture, you realize the grassroots is not your problem. The grassroots is always going to be the grassroots. They are always going to need incentives. Grassroots in Texas, in the US, behave approximately the same way. You need to coax them for their votes or whatever. But who carries, you don't see the big politicians in the remote areas. Who carries the money to the grassroots to vote? The middle class. Who says political parties don't have ideology? The middle class. Who writes the constitution of political parties?
The middle class.
Who doesn't vote in elections? The middle class, accounting for 58 million registered voters that do not participate in an election. Is our problem really the grassroots?
So,
because grassroots, they always participate.
They don't miss it.
They don't.
If it were you, that's the day you be able to afford.
So how do we eradicate that concept? How do we eradicate it?
The middle class must understand that if it chooses not to engage in politics, politics will engage with it. It's not a choice thing. I'll give you an example. I heard a lot of people in Lagos, they're just the fintech companies, the laws in CBN. Okay, madam, you can't make 2 billion, 3 billion in one country and think they are going to watch you. Did you put 1 naira into putting 1 senator in 2019 or 1 House of Rep in 2019? It's legal. It's called lobbying. They will defend your policies. It's legal. If you don't do that, what do you think is going to happen? The roof is going to fall on your head. That's why Dangote is friends with everybody.
I mean, lobbying, there was a time we talked about lobbying on the show, and you were saying, must we lobby? And I'm telling you, we have to lobby if we want to get things right. But my next question, I might be the one in my own bubble, right? But I do not agree that we do not have youth participation in politics, right? And this is where I'm coming from. So, in the last 5 years or thereabouts, if you look at what is going on, especially in terms of communication and people that are being employed as or appointed as the SAs to this government, like you said, people that are carrying the funds to where they're supposed to be disbursed, a lot of these people are youths. They are not, you will not see the people that we see as our leaders on the road doing these things. They are the young people, right? So to me, I don't think it is the youths not participating. I think it is the youths not understanding what their role is. And also, I don't think I want to use the word oppressed, because you only allow yourself to be oppressed and then you begin to become oppressed. So if they don't see themselves as being oppressed, then you cannot say they are oppressed, right? So I do not think that youths are not in politics. I think that youths are not, or maybe the youth with the right kind of mindset are not interested in politics, right? So how do we begin to make these young people that are already, because no matter how you want to talk about it, I don't think everybody will be interested in politics. It's still going to be a game for people that are interested in politics, which was why I asked when you were talking about knowing the people in the primaries. Personally, I will tell you, it's probably not my business, because I am not a member of that party. So even if an Atiku and a Saraki, for example, is against each other, right, and within my soul, I want a Saraki to win, this is hypothetically speaking right now, there is nothing I can do in the primaries, because I still have to have hope on the political party to bring out a Saraki. Now, this is hypothetically speaking, before I can now go to the post to say I want to vote. And you cannot force everybody to be part of a political party. So with the amount of young people, because I am still saying this, maybe I am in my own bubble, but I know a lot of young people that are in politics, even in the grassroots. I mean, I've known you for a long time with your political journey, and there are a lot of them I know. So how do we get them? Again, sorry my question is taking this long. Today is 100 days of Twitter being banned, yes? And I have had the opportunity to converse with people in the corridor of power to understand what is going on. And they will tell you that most of the issues, in fact, you talked about middle class being the ones writing these policies. Most of the people backing the ban of Twitter or telling these people that this is what they need are young people. So how do we get the right crop of young people, or even the ones there, to begin to understand that whatever decision they are making and think that maybe they are trying to get into the good books of whoever their godfathers are, it is coming back to bite them and their generations unborn as well. Because that's the way I see it.
Okay.
That's a long question.
No, it's going to, you know, when they say your question has like very, very branchy wide.
Has great
branches. The first thing I would say is that everybody in Nigeria, old or young, looks at Nigeria as a buffet table. They're just waiting for their turn to start taking goat meat as soon as they might be at samosa level now, but they will get. As regards youth population participation in politics, it's actually reduced. You have less young people in political office than you had. We're not talking of youth in political office youth participation in politics has always been high. Okay. But guess what? For the wrong reason. Offices of the ballot box runner, office of the carry cash from here to here, those are not the kind of jobs we should be having. You are also very, very right on the fact that I think what we need to make clear on this show is that, look, wherever you are, don't think you're fighting an older generation. What is actually happening in Nigeria is that there are paid youths that are fighting a youth that want a country. That's the real war. Any other war, forget it. And the truth is, when you look at it, the federal government probably wasn't even thinking of banning Twitter. Like, they're happy you guys on Twitter. We know it's Twitter. Because they don't know it's Twitter. So we know it's Twitter. Okay, ban this thing. No, good idea. They'll now ban it. Then the whole thing goes on and off. As regards your point about we don't all have to be in political parties, I said that earlier. I said we don't all have to, but we need quite an amount. If you look at Nigeria, being honest, Nigeria has some of the most educated, versatile, upwardly mobile people in the world. I've been to places within the country and outside that people have questioned me being Nigerian. And this is within governance circles because they've met Nigerians in governance. So they cannot believe, come on, are you sure you're Nigerian? Why can't you win an election in your country? How is it happening? And the reason it's happening, like I said, the delegates within that political party system are responsible for who emerges from the political parties. As long as it is this present crop, we are in trouble. And it's not going to get any
because
better.
they will continue to present options
Because
of the devil and the deep blue sea for you.
Yes, and they will keep recycling the same thing. Nigeria has actually been ruled by, apart from a few that have gone out of the system, but we've actually been controlled by a few who have been there since '66. The only person that was an anomaly was President Goodluck Jonathan.
True.
And President Goodluck Jonathan, well, we know how that went. And what amazes me, I'm not a PDP or APC. Actually, my office right now with the Electoral College, I'm non-partisan. So I don't know how in 2015 you voted out the president for issues, and in 2019, the president with more issues than who you voted out in 2019 survived. But now it comes to the critics, what exactly is going on? And then you start to ask yourself a question. As long as the average middle class stays away from politics. Because the truth is, if you really want to know who took out Trump in the US, it was middle class participation in politics.
Who took out Jonathan was middle class.
Middle class
yes.
too. As long as the middle class stays away, and it's because the middle class can tell left from the right. Not middle class that today on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, we need a better Nigeria, we need a better Nigeria. Then you see one of the usual suspects, I can't name any politician, usual suspects, and then you're at his party. The same, and then you take a selfie with him. The same people that last week were saying they were corrupt politicians will now say, Elsie, you've moved up in life. Is that not what you're doing?
No, but which is why I'm saying this young people that we have in politics, because you've made a difference now. You differentiated it. You said there's youth participation in politics and there's youth participation in political offices. Now, those number of youths we have in the political parties already, how is there some sort of training? Is there something that can be said to them that would make them understand their role and that this country is the only one we have? That's what the Electoral College and I think people like Electoral and
fixed politics are trying to do. We at Electoral College are a pioneer institution in this educational regard, and this is our target, trying to teach them what exactly should be. Or let's also say something. A Nigerian who has been trained by, let me not use, by a wolf, it won't see chickens and not want to jump at it. So what we've tried to do is build another set of Nigerians and then mold their thought process and then put them in the game. That's the only way you can change it, because the truth is, show me your...
So when you are talking about this now, so that's very tricky, because what some have argued in some quarters is that even for us, we're a lost cause, right? The people you are talking about molding right now are the people that are like maybe from age 5 to like age 13. You know, that they are not, I mean, that's the age grade of the young people that are still moldable, and these are the people that they are looking forward to being the change for the country. Because for us, we are lost causes. We're not going to change anything. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I agree, but we are the foundation for the change.
Okay.
So the Electoral College, of course, works with, we even help conduct elections, debates, promote primaries, the whole electoral system in schools across Nigeria. We have pilot schools that we've attempted all this. We of course have a handbook that's coming out soon, which will be the whole thing with pictures for targeted at from age 12 to age 21.
Yeah.
We just try to make politics to, you know,
Sound interesting.
yeah, we'll give it a little sexy back thing. So we're trying to get to that point. Yes, you're right. We will be able to save Nigeria with that. That generation will save Nigeria, but the foundation will be laid by us. And we have to, which is what we're doing, transmitting information backward.
Okay.
And
So,
then
sorry, Isi, let me just throw in just one last thing when you say foundation. So for us now, I mean, when you go abroad, every young child from age 5, 6, they know about the history of their country. They know a lot that is going on in politics and everything, governance. They teach them from
a younger age.
From a very young age. So what are we doing in that? Is the Electoral College also pushing for those kinds of advocacy and inclusion from that age? Or just organizing programs? Or now we want to imbibe it into the curriculum? Because there are some children, you wake them, they know the history of their country, right? It's part of, even like, I mean, my sister, when she was applying for citizenship in France, she had to know the history of from the monarchy and everything. It's part of what makes you a citizen. So are we pushing for that? Okay,
no offense to the Ministry of Education, but the Electoral College tried to at least improve the curriculum of civic education in Nigeria, and it's going to take us like 6 or 7 years. So while we're working on that, and how long the NUC and its other cohorts decide to make a move, we have decided, okay, we're going to come up with little projects. Like you used to have I took it when I was growing up, there was Jets Club, there was Press Club. Yeah. So now we're creating something known as the Electoral College Club, which we're going to put in place within schools. It's going to take us time because, of course, we are not carrying money, or we don't have backing up.
The federal.
Let's not call their name. So, because we don't have their backing, we of course have to function in, you know, as we can in pet projects. Yeah, but in pet plans, like we will have something in Nasarawa, we'll have something we'll try in Calabar, we'll have something we'll try in Benue, Boko, somewhere, Edo, somewhere.
Yeah, Isi, quickly, we have like 3 minutes.
Okay, I was going to talk about the fact that, do you think that there is hope that we can actually change this, and the youth of Nigeria can understand that they have the power to change this? You've already talked about that before now, that it's important that we know this. So my take is, due to the peculiarities of Nigerian politics, can we work towards changing the dynamics of the politics in Nigeria from today with how do I put it? So I'm looking for the right word for it.
You know, for me, I like to keep such answers very simple. Most people say, okay, he's run for Senate, he heads the Electoral College in Nigeria. 49 bills proposed while running for office, higher than any Nigerian legislator in history. How did I achieve that? I love my country. I'm happy I knew LC then. LC knew me. I had nothing to do with politics. Yeah. I just got tired of, the status quo, and I took the bull by the horns. The truth is, everything you know about politics is a lie. Most of it is a cutting just to keep people away. So you know the trick. They only hold meetings at 2 o'clock. I've been the National Publicity Secretary, highest level, National Executive Council of a political party. Nobody was holding meetings at 2 o'clock. Hello. And we also, we've worked on quite a lot of things, and a lot of things don't happen like that. I ran for Senate in the FCT. I didn't conduct any 2 o'clock meeting within my... What am I doing at 2 o'clock?
Is it possible that's why you did not win?
No, I don't think so. I think I didn't win because the FCT... I still don't believe I lost an election.
Okay.
And this is not because of the numbers. I just believe Abuja lost a senator. And that's the way I look at it. Because I don't know how you would actually do the job of a senator, which is propose 49 bills while running for office, and not get the office. Then it means the people don't even know what senators are supposed to do. I find it funny when I hear people saying, our senator did not give us road, or that popular actor that they've been bashing for a bridge. That's not actually his job. It's the job of local government chairman. Constituency projects do not exist in our constitution and are not. It's an anomaly within the functions of the National Assembly.
I like the mindset of you saying that they lost a senator. And I think if most of the people who run for office have that kind of mindset, then I don't think anybody will be killing anyone or bloodshed or violence.
I was going to say, it's not a do or die thing.
To get into office because you're going to serve. And if you say, don't serve me, I carry my
I think it would be nice to have you back to help us break down the role of local government, because we need to do like a series of breaking down. Yeah, because you see, you kept on going back to local government, going back to say a lot of us don't actually know the functions of those at each cadre. We do not know the functions. So everything we just say, it's this.
Let me give you an example that will blow your mind. So it's smart, yeah. The answer situation in Lekki, everybody, but you guys didn't talk to who was actually responsible for that. I believe that bridge is in Etiosa, right?
Yes.
It's under the jurisdiction of the chairman of Etiosa. That's who you're supposed to be holding, not the governor. So whenever you hold the governor, it's funny. I just decided to bring that out.
You can imagine. Okay. So we are just holding the wrong person. If we had sued that guy to court.
But they enjoy it. Because
they enjoy the attention.
They know you don't know. It's like the LG elections. The incumbent knew people will not run, or other parties will not run. And you know what the scare was? Don't worry, the incumbent will win. And that's how the incumbent won. It's not because they actually did anything mechanical. They didn't do anything. They just wrote off your fears. And that's what
and our ignorance.
Yeah, they do that. And that's all they do.
Wow. I love the way you're demystifying politics. So for any young person, I hope you learned a lot as we learned today. So we are going to be the foundation for that change. That's our generation. That's our job, is to lay the right foundation for the change. Thank you so much, Kunle. We've had an amazing chat with you. Thank you, Isia Fodler and Elsie Godwin.
Thank
you.
So
I'm sorry we couldn't take messages today. We had a technical issue. So before we go, do ensure you follow us on Instagram at PlusTvAfrica. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and most importantly, we're planning a giveaway to say thank you to you for believing in the Waze brand and following the conversation. So do what to follow us now. It's at PlusTvAfrica. Like, share, invite your friends, and make sure you comment also. Share with your friends and family to also watch and follow the conversation. So if you missed today's quote, here it is again. The duty of the youth is to challenge corruption. We are going to set a foundation for a corruption-free Nigeria. How about that?
Buhari is fighting corruption.
You'll be all right. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 8 p.m. as we bring another great conversation to your screen. Enjoy.